Welcome, dear friends, to this session on income tax critical topics. This is the second session in this series, and today we are going to discuss about alternate tax regime, which was introduced for individuals and HUF, correct, under Section 115 BAC of Income Tax Act. Okay, shall we start with this session? So, what will individuals and HUF do? Individuals and HUF will pay tax at the normal percentages, at the normal rates, correct? They will pay at normal rates or they will pay at this alternative rates, whichever is more beneficial for them. Is the point clear? Are you getting this point? I will pay tax at normal rate or I will pay tax at a special rate or special slabs as given to me, whichever is more applicable. So we will go ahead and see what are those slabs applicable. Okay, so I am quite sure you know the normal rates of tax for individual. So let us first quickly, before going to this, let us quickly recollect normal tax rates for individual. Up to 2,50,000, no tax. Then 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, tax at what percent? 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, tax at 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, whatever income falls between 5 lakh to 10 lakh, tax is at 20%, and income above 10 lakhs, tax is at 30%. Isn't it? Good, very good. Now, listen carefully. Of course, there is a surcharge, and then on subtotal, there is health and education cess. Correct? All of you clear with this? Now, there is a rebate also if total income for individual does not exceed rupees 5 lakh. So this is all normal we are discussing, normal rates of tax. Now, if you don't want to follow that, you may follow this alternative tax regime. Or I would say better, you will calculate as per normal rates and as per this 115 BAC and pay tax wherever it is less. Clear? Yes or no? But then, of course, you will say always here the rates are less. So always here it will be less in 115 BAC. But it is not like that because the way you calculate income changes. Way you calculate income is going to change. Okay. But before going to anything, let's see what are the tax rates under this tax regime. So again, under normal rates of tax for resident senior citizen, what is the rate of tax? I mean, what is the basic exemption limit? It is 3 lakh rupees. Resident senior citizen, it is 3 lakh. Resident super senior citizen, it is 5 lakh. Correct. So the one who is opting for this special rates of tax need not consider those basic exemption limits of 3 lakh and 5 lakh. Let it be any individual or HUF, you will apply these percentages directly if you are going for alternative tax regime. So in alternative tax regime, no tax up to first 2,50,000. Okay, as usual. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, income which falls between 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, no change. Rate of tax will be 5%. Income between 5 to 7.5 lakh, 10%. Income between, yes, 7.5 lakh to 10 lakh, 15%. So are you getting it? We are breaking at every 2.5 lakhs. 0 to 2.5 lakhs, no tax. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakhs, 5%. 5 lakh to 7.5 lakhs, 10%. 7.5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, yes, 15%. Exactly. For every increase in 2.5 lakhs, there is an increase by 5%. 10 to 12.5 lakhs, 20%. 12.5 lakhs to 15 lakhs, 25%. And above 15 lakhs, 30%. Did you all get this? Will you be able to remember this percentages? Yes. In exam, what we will do? In exam, apply normal rates of tax unless it is given that SSC opted for 115 BAC. Got the point? If they tell you that SSC has opted for 115 BAC, then only apply this. Or if they ask you that what SSC should do, then calculate in both the scenarios and get your liability. Is the point clear to you? Yes, fantastic. Now, see the notes. Observe these notes properly. Exemption limit, as I told you, for any individual will be 2,50,000. So irrespective of the fact that you are senior citizen, super senior citizen, doesn't matter. Exemption limit continues to be 2,50,000 only. You cannot take off 3 lakh or 5 lakh. Is the point clear to all of you? Yes. Rebate under 87A continues to apply. What is that rebate under section 87A? If your total income is not exceeding 5 lakh rupees, then you will get discount, that is rebate of tax payable or 12,500, whichever is less. Correct? Then special incomes like winning from lottery, then long-term capital gain of 112A, short-term capital gain of 111A. These all special incomes will be continued to be taxed at special rates. Okay, even if you have opted for 115 BAC. So basically 115 BAC will apply on normal incomes and not special incomes. Clear? And of course, surcharge also will continue to apply. Yes, casual income will be taxed at normal, normal in the sense 30%, as given in 115 BB. That we are calling as special income. So special income taxed at special rates. Normal income will be taxed as per these slabs given. Is it clear? Shall we go ahead? And of course, surcharge will be applicable. What are the surcharge percentages? You know that. Can we quickly recollect surcharge percentages for individual? When, mind you, when total income exceeds 50 lakh, but does not exceed 1 crore, surcharge is at what percent? No. Those who are saying 7% are telling me for companies. I'm asking you for individuals, my dear friends. It is at 10%. Correct. 50 lakhs to 1 crore, 10%. 1 crore to 2 crore, 15%. 2 crore to 5 crore, 25%. And above 5 crore, 37%. Very good. So will that surcharge be applicable if you opted for 115 BAC? Answer is yes. You cannot, neglect that surcharge. Very good. But so government is asking you to pay tax at a lower rate. So that will not be free of cost. Isn't it? They are saying that usually 5 lakh to 10 lakh, usually you pay at 20%. But here on 5 to 7.5 lakhs, you are paying only at 10%. And between 7.5 lakh to 10 lakhs, you are paying at only 15%. Correct? Why so much discount they are giving? That is, that discount they are giving if you don't opt for these benefits. Means your way of calculating taxable income will change under 115 BAC. Yes. So which deductions are not allowed? Check. Deductions or benefits or exemptions, we can say, not allowed are leave travel concession. You know that benefit of leave travel concession? allowed to employees for with respect to that uh, air travel or any railway travel, correct? So if 30,000 rupees I have spent on railway travel and that is reimbursed to me by the employer, that becomes exempt in my hands. That leave travel concessions exemption under section 10(5) will be surrendered, not allowed. So you will get LTC from the company as per their policy, but can you claim exemption? The answer is no. You will be surprised to know you cannot claim exemption of HRA. You cannot claim exemption of special allowances like children education allowance, hostel expenditure allowance, allowance to MP MLA. They cannot be claimed. Then in clubbing of income, if income of minor child is clubbed in the hands of parent, that parent used means that parent gets exemption usually of 1,500 per annum. Are you getting the point? That exemption will not be allowed. One of my friend is asking that what about RFA, that is rent-free accommodation. Mind you, my dear friend, rent-free accommodation is a perquisite. Yes or no? That perquisite is a benefit given by employer to employee. That benefit will be valued and that benefit will be taxed. I hope Zoya, you got the point. We are talking about disallowing the benefits under income tax. So Zoya, when a company gave you house rent allowance, you used to claim some exemption. Suppose 80,000 was HRA received and say 60,000 was exempted. So only 20,000 was taxable. So if you are going for 115 BAC, you cannot claim exemption of that 60,000 rupees. So your full 80,000 will be taxed. Are you getting the point? Yes. But if I'm talking about something like accommodation, it's a perquisite, or motor car, it's a perquisite. That perquisite will be taxable. Zoya got the point? So why will government interfere in that? Government wants to disallow the benefits under income tax. So they are disallowing these benefits. Very good. SEZ benefit is disallowed. Standard deduction, I'm talking under the head of salaries. Do you know standard deduction is allowed to the extent of 50,000 per annum? That will be disallowed. That will be disallowed if you want to go for 115 BAC. So government is saying, do you want to enjoy special rates of tax? You say yes, we want to enjoy. So in lieu of what? Against what you are enjoying it? You are surrendering all these things to the government. You are not taking its benefits. Very good. Entertainment allowance of 16 2 not allowed. Profession tax not allowed. Okay, check. Narayanan, Miss Narayanan, we are going in sequence. Check. Interest on housing loan will not be allowed. That is a 24B deduction. So house property standard deduction of 30% of NAV will be allowed. What is not allowed is 24B, interest on housing loan, in case of one or two self-occupied properties. Getting the point? Clear, all of you? Additional depreciation not allowed. Normal depreciation will be allowed. Additional will not be allowed. The one which is usually given at 20%, that is not allowed. Investment allowance under section 32 AD, not allowed. Tea, coffee, rubber development account. These are some special deductions from PGBP, not allowed. Site restoration fund, not allowed. deduction of scientific research of section 35. You know that is capex on scientific research. Yes. Okay, one of the student is asking, what about deduction of interest in case of chapter 6A, which are along with 24B? Yes, friend, that will be allowed. We are saying not allowed with respect to 24B. Okay, then going ahead, capital expenditure pertaining to specified business means 35 AD. Deduction of agriculture extension project. Standard deduction in case of family pension, the one which is allowed to the extent of, yes friends, one which is allowed to the extent of 1/3 of family pension or 15,000, whichever is less. So that also will not be allowed. Not only that, all deductions of 80C to 80U, all deductions of 80C to 80U will not be allowed, except employer's contribution towards NPS, then 80JJAA, and deduction under 80LA, except these three. So the doubt that what what about interest with respect to housing loan, which is allowed under 80EE and 80EEA, correct? So that also is disallowed by virtue of this S point. Is it clear? The one who asked me this question. Yes, you will have to remember all this, that these are all not allowed. And more importantly, remember the ones which are most critical, like standard deduction in salary, entertainment allowance, profession tax, 24B deduction not allowed. Okay, keep all this important in mind at least. Maybe Pranav, we don't know. Let's check now what's happening. Case to case, it will differ. Whether, I mean, assessee will be at profit going for this 115 BSc, or he should follow normal provisions, will all depend on, you know, what type of deductions he has claimed while calculating normal income. Basically, it will depend on nature of income. Okay. Yes, this study material, this material, whatever, this will be given to you on the Telegram group. Correct? I hope you all have joined the Telegram group. The total income of individual HUF is calculated without adjusting brought forward loss from any earlier year if such loss or additional depreciation pertains to any deduction under the aforesaid sections. So if that loss is because of any of this A to S, then that loss will not be allowed as deduction. Brought forward loss or depreciation as mentioned above shall be deemed to have been given full effect to, and no further deduction or such loss or depreciation shall be allowed to be carried forward for any subsequent year. Okay. AMT under 115 JC. So we are going to soon do AMT under 115 JC in this series of critical topics. So those provisions of AMT under 115 JC are not applicable if you're opting for section 115 BSc. Okay. For assessee not having business or professional income, the option must be exercised along with income tax return for every previous year. Okay. So for assessee who is not having PGBP, they can select year to year basis, whether they have to opt for normal provisions or 115 BSc. Clear? However, if assessee has business or professional income, once this option is exercised for any PY, it remains valid for all the years. That is, this option, once exercised, cannot be withdrawn. Are these all points clear to you? I have tried to make notes in very simple words for you. Yes. Now I want to ask to you, are you all ready with your calculators? Be ready with your calculators so that this particular calculations can become easy for you. Fantastic. Mrs. Dhanashri is a salaried employee. One of the student is asking, is there any loop to come out of the section for PGBP person? Loop to come out? No. Loophole, you mean to say? No, no, my dear friend. Okay. Mrs. Dhanashri is a salaried employee in Krishna Private Limited, earning gross taxable salary of 8 lakhs during PY 2021. Profession tax paid by her is 2,500. Further, she deposited 50,000 in PPF in the said PY. So, have you registered all these points in your mind? Gross taxable salary is 8 lakh. Profession tax is 2,500 and 50,000 is deposited in PPF. Listen carefully, Pranav. My question to you is, compute her total income, assuming that she has opted for paying tax. She has opted for paying tax under alternative regime of section 115 BAC. So what happens? GTS 8 lakh, can she claim standard deduction? No. So don't you think NTS will remain? She cannot even claim profession tax. So NTS as well as gross total income will be 8 lakh rupees. Yes. Can you claim ATC deduction for PPF? No. Very good. You cannot claim. So what will continue to be your total income? It will continue to be rupees 8 lakh. Fantastic. Compute all of you 8 lakh, clear with it? Now, my second question to you is, compute her net taxable salary, assuming she has opted for paying tax under alternative tax regime of 115 BAC. So net taxable salary will remain same, 8 lakhs. Correct? No challenge in that. Compute her total income, assuming she is paying tax as per normal provisions of the Act. If she is paying tax as per normal provisions of the Act. So can you take on your calci 8 lakh GTS? From 8 lakhs, please minus standard deduction 50,000. Also minus profession tax 2,500. And now minus, so now you have got net taxable salary, which is 747,500. This itself is your gross total income, less deductions of chapter 6A. That is ATC deduction 50,000. Subtract 50,000 and tell me what is your total income. Is it 697,500? Accepted, all of you? Are you getting the point? Fantastic. Very good. Amazing. Now, what would be her net taxable salaries? You already have calculated it. You just have to tell me what was net taxable salary. Yes, it is 747,500. Perfect. Now, just check. I have given you solutions here. I have given you all the solutions in typed form here. You don't have to take tension. Now, compute tax liability assuming she has opted for paying tax as per alternative tax regime. So can we compute tax as per alternative tax regime? Please, let's go step by step. On first 2,50,000, no tax accepted. Okay, 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, tax at 5%. So right somewhere in the top margin, 12,500. 5 lakh to 7 lakh 50,000, tax at what percent? 10%. 10%. So calculate, yes, it will be 25,000. And 7 lakh 50,000 to 10 lakhs. But you don't have 10 lakhs, you have till 8 lakh. So on that 50,000, calculate at 15%. So what is that? Is it 7,500? So can you do the calculation? 7,500 plus 25,000 plus 12,500. Are you getting 45,000? Plus 4% health and education cess. So your answer is 46,800. So please let me know in the chat window how many of you got it all by yourself comfortably. Are you enjoying it? Are you happy? That is important. This all 9 sessions should be very helpful for you. If you remain with me for this all 9 sessions, it is going to help you a lot. I guarantee you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Well, good going. Good going. Now, and so looking at your enthusiasm, you know that I have also announced the GST critical topic session starting from 17th of June till 30th of June, selected few days. But only thing is, I had very less time in the day. So I have kept it night 10:30 to 11:30. So for those 5-6 days, you have to, study at that time. Yes, I have already put up its schedule on various groups and also on the Telegram group, whatever Telegram channel. Yes, fantastic. Let's go ahead. You also have to now compute tax liability, assuming she has not opted for paying tax as per alternative tax regime. If not opted for paying tax as per alternative tax regime, then what was the total income? We have calculated. Then total income was 697,500. So how to calculate on 697,500? First 2,50,000 no tax. Next 2,50,000, 5%, that is 12,500. Then, my dear friends, 5 lakh to 10 lakhs, tax at 20%. But I don't have 10 lakhs, I have 697,500. So can you take 197,500? That is income which exceeds 5 lakh. So on 197,500, can you calculate at 20%? Is it 39,500? So 39,500 plus 12,500 is 52,000. 52,000 plus 4% health and education cess. Are you getting 54,080? So you got tax liability as per normal provisions also. I have given you in-depth hints here. So if any one of you is lacking, okay, you are going to get full hints here, even if you want to understand from the basics. Okay. Check. This was under 115 BAC. Okay. So this was when alternative tax regime is opted of 115 BAC. Sir, repeat the last question. Acha, what do you want me to repeat? The solution or the question or the explanation? Yes, Vardhan, exactly what can I do? Solution. Okay. Do you want me to calculate liability on 697,500? Yes or no? That's what you want? Acha, you want me to calculate liability when not opted for paying tax as per alternative tax regime? That's what you want me to do? Check. So, where alternative tax regime is not opted, are you okay with the point that we got total income of 697,500? Vardhan and Shantil, is it fine till this point that you got total income of 697,500? Yes, I think you're okay with that. So only tax liability calculation is the issue. So you know the slabs 0 to 2.5 lakhs, no tax, 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs. How much is the income between that? That is 2.5 lakhs. On that 2.5 lakhs at 5% gives you 12,500. Income which falls between 5 lakh to 10 lakh, tax is at 20%. But here you don't have full 10 lakhs. Here you have only 697,500. So 197,500 falls between 5 lakh to 10 lakh. So on that 197,500, you calculate at 20%. You get 39,500. Then take total, you get 52,000. Add health and education cess. Yes. Now it is clear. Vardhan, Shantil, can I go ahead? And others, can I go ahead? Yes. So just keep your mind alert and just keep your calces working and keep something for rough working in front of you. You are, of course, going to get these notes on that Telegram group. No need to take tension of that. Good. Fantastic. Let's go ahead. Mr. Rohan, a businessman, has income from business of 14 lakhs during the PY 2021. Besides, he has interest on savings bank account of 21,000. He annually contributes 1,50,000 towards PPF. Compute total income of Rohan, assuming that it does not opt for alternative tax regime. What happens if it does not opt? Can he claim any deductions of section 80C to 80U? Revati, can he claim any deduction of 80C to 80U? He cannot claim deduction of 80C to 80U. So what is going to be his? Acha. First question is that it does not opt. First question is it does not opt. Does not opt. Okay. If it does not opt, then take deduction. Which deduction can you claim? Yes, he's not opting. No, first. He's not opting. So first of all, you have to tell me what is his gross total income. Let's go step by step. Tell me his gross total income. His gross total income, mind you, is not 14 lakhs. His gross total income is 14 lakh 21,000. 14 lakh PGBP and 21,000 IOS. Did you all get 14 lakh 21,000? From this 14 lakh 21,000, which is GTI, minus deduction of 80C to 80U. 80C deduction PPF, 1,50,000. And mind you, 80 TTA deduction. Don't forget 80 TTA deduction. 80 TTA deduction will be interest on savings bank account. It is only up to rupees 10,000. Very good. So 21,000 or 10,000, whichever is lower. So subtract that 10,000 and tell me what is your total income. Is it 12,61,000? It's very good. Fantastic. Compute total income of Mr. Rohan, assuming that he opts for alternative tax regime. What if he opts for alternative tax regime? Then no deductions of 80C to 80U. So answer will be correct, 14,21,000. Are you comfortable till this point? Yes, very good. Now, compute tax liability of Mr. Rohan, assuming he does not opt for alternative tax regime. If he has not opted for alternative tax regime, then his total income is 12,61,000. Yes. So calculate on 12,61,000. How to calculate on 12,61,000? Can I say now in shortcut, no tax on first 2.5 lakhs? 2.5 to 5 lakhs, 12,500. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh. On that 5 lakh rupees, tax at 20% will be 1 lakh. Now only question is on income exceeding 10 lakhs. That is on 2,61,000, calculate at 30%. Are you getting 78,300 at 30%? So 78,300 plus 1 lakh plus 12,500. Are you getting 1,90,800 plus 4% health and education cess? So is your liability 1,98,432? If you round off to nearest of 10, you will get 1,98,430. Fantastic. Now, last question for today. So even though I have said that timing is 8 to 10, there is never a need to extend for all those 2 hours. It will get over well before that, few of the topics. Okay. That's the gross timing I have given you, 8 to 10. So that you sit with that patience. But surprise is sometimes it may get over in 45 minutes to 1 hour. So last question for this session is compute tax liability of Mr. Rohan, assuming he opts for alternative tax regime. If he has opted for alternative tax regime, his income is 14,21,000. So on income of 14,21,000, compute. So 0 to 2.5 lakhs, no tax. 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, tax at 5%. That is 12,500. Yes. Next, 5 lakh to 7,50,000. On that 2,50,000 at 10%. Is it 25,000? 7,50,000 to 10 lakh. On that 2,50,000, is it at 15%? Is it 37,500? Fantastic. Now, 10 lakh to 12,50,000. On that 2,50,000, is it 20%? So is it 50,000? And mind you, 12,50,000 to 14,21,000. That is 14,21,000 minus 12,50,000. You have 1,71,000 into 25%. So 42,750. Take total now of all these things. Check. 42,750 plus 50,000 plus 37,500 plus 25,000 plus 12,500. Are you getting 167,750? You cannot stop. Health and education says. So is your final answer 1,74,460? Are you getting how to do it? Fantastic. So on exceptional basis, because this is amendment, I can see such questions being asked. Okay. And third and fourth is a formality question that even if they were, resident senior citizen or resident super senior citizen who opt for 115 BAC, then also what will be your limit? Basic exemption limit, then also will be 2,50,000. Are all of you okay with this? Any doubt on 115 BAC? 115 BAC is applicable for individuals and HUF, not for anyone else. Correct? Very good. Fantastic. So I'm immediately sending you after this class this on your Telegram group. Thank you very much for your patient listening. See, day after tomorrow, someone was saying cover up TDS TCS also. So that is actually in our agenda day after tomorrow. So more 7 power pack sessions for income tax coming up. So please join them as well. Join GST as well. Make the most out of these sessions. Wishing you all the very best. Happy studying. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye. See you in the next session. Bye guys. Bye.